Deep beneath the surface, hidden in forests, mountains, deserts, and beneath entire cities, lie the silent remains of a terrifying era. Deep beneath the surface, hidden in forests, mountains, deserts, and beneath entire cities, lie the silent remains of a terrifying era. Places never meant to be found. Places built for a world that was supposed to end. These aren't just abandoned structures. They're time capsules, sealed with the paranoia of a century, convinced that humanity could vanish in 30 minutes. In the 1950s and 60s, world powers launched a secret architecture of survival, massive underground bunkers designed to protect governments, militaries, and a carefully chosen fraction of the population from nuclear annihilation. But the Cold War ended. The bunkers did not. Today, these concrete labyrinths sit empty, decaying, and disturbingly intact. Rusted doors still sealed, lights still wired, in some cases, generators still capable of turning on. Tonight, we descend into the forgotten world beneath our feet, exploring the chilling architecture of the Cold War, the unsolved mysteries they left behind, and the eerie things explorers report hearing deep underground. Because the deeper we dig into history, the more secrets we find buried. Cold War bunkers were not built for comfort. They were built for endurance, for survival after the unthinkable. Three main types existed. First, you had the government command centers. These were fortresses buried kilometers deep, places like Mount Weather, capable of holding the entire U.S. government for months. They were self-sustaining cities with advanced air filtration, aquifer water systems, diesel generators, secure radio rooms, and food stores designed to last for years, not weeks. Then there were the military installations, missile silos, launch control centers, and hardened communications hubs. These were the rooms where officers sat for decades, with launch codes in hand, knowing they might one day have to end civilization to save it. Finally, there were the civilian shelters. These mass bunkers were advertised as protection for the public, though they were often more symbolic than practical. Even at the time, governments knew there was never space for everyone. The engineering involved was extraordinary. Some bunkers had their own hospitals, operations rooms, and even theaters to simulate some semblance of normal life. But there was one thing they couldn't engineer: the human mind. Psychological studies from that era revealed something disturbing. After just 90 days underground, even in perfect conditions, social cohesion completely collapsed. People developed hallucinations, intense paranoia, and suffered emotional breakdowns. The constant isolation, the stale, recycled air, the unending artificial lights, and the unbearable awareness that everything and everyone you knew above ground might be gone. These places could save bodies, but they could not save minds. Now, let's visit the ghosts. Rathbarnton Quarry in Scotland is a former radar and command bunker dug deep into a hillside. It was abandoned in the 90s, and explorers who venture inside report finding control rooms frozen in time, rotary phones still on desks, faded maps on the walls, even teacups left exactly where they were decades ago. In 2018, a logbook was found with a final, chilling handwritten note. If you're reading this, we didn't make it. May God forgive what we were prepared to do. Then there's the Greenbrier Bunker in West Virginia, hidden beneath a 5-star luxury resort. For 30 years, politicians danced and dined just above a top-secret fallout shelter designed for the entire U.S. Congress. Even after its declassification in 1992, several rooms remain restricted, with no public explanation as to why. Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado is still operational, but vast sections of it are now abandoned. Behind its famous 25-ton blast doors lie darkened tunnels stretching for miles. Workers there have reported hearing machinery running in sealed-off wings, long after the equipment was supposedly removed. Others describe hearing distant footsteps, in areas where there are no floors. On the other side of the world, we have the Soviet mega bunkers in the Ural Mountains. These were massive subterranean cities. Some had their own schools, theaters, and even entire subway systems. In one such bunker, explorers found a classroom with small desks, a map of the USSR on the wall, and fresh chalk marks on the board, despite the facility having been sealed since the late 1980s. And then there's a truly strange case known as the Warm Room. In 2017, urban explorers in an abandoned NATO bunker found a single room that remained inexplicably warm, around 20 degrees Celsius, with no functioning electrical lines or heat source. Independent temperature readings confirmed this anomaly. The source of the heat remains completely unknown. Nature is patient. Concrete cracks, steel corrodes. Underground rivers seep into tunnels that were meant to survive a nuclear blast. Some of these bunkers have been reborn as high-tech data centers, doomsday archives, or museums that offer a glimpse into a paranoid past. But many others remain locked. In Germany, abandoned Stasi bunkers still contain functioning surveillance consoles, eerily intact and ready to go. In the UK, dozens of civil defense bunkers built in the 80s remain classified. Their entrances are sealed with concrete, their exact locations scrubbed from public maps. And then there's something rarely discussed. Certain Cold War bunkers are still actively guarded today, not because they're dangerous, but because of what might still be inside. Partially declassified files make brief mention of objects of unknown origin, stored in subterranean facilities with restricted electromagnetic access. No further explanation is provided. A few past employees have anonymously claimed that not everything stored down there was human-made. Whether that's exaggeration or truth, the mystery remains sealed behind blast doors. These bunkers tell a story, not just about geopolitics or nuclear fear, but about something much deeper: the human instinct to survive at any cost, and the terrifying decisions made behind closed doors about who gets saved and who gets left behind. They remind us that humanity once built entire cities underground, not as temporary shelters, but as permanent infrastructure for the end of the world. And here's the haunting part: the Cold War is over, but the architecture of apocalypse never disappeared. Today, governments around the world quietly upgrade their continuity plans. Corporations build fortified data bunkers. Billionaires construct private luxury shelters in New Zealand and sprawling underground mansions in Texas. The fear never died. It just changed its shape. So what do these forgotten bunkers really teach us? That survival alone isn't living. That paranoia can build empires beneath the earth. And that the greatest threat humanity ever faced wasn't the bomb, but our own willingness to build a world around it. These bunkers were meant to save us. In the end, they only saved the fear. The real question isn't whether we'll build bunkers again. We already are. The question is, what kind of world are we building above ground? Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the world beneath our feet fascinating, be sure to subscribe for more explorations into the unknown. See you next time.